We're hoping to get Philly.500 today. If not, me and Mark are going to do an exercise today. Let me get this out here. Let's bring Mark Holmes in. The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh,
Covers the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, dude, you know what? This is something I think we can all agree on. You covered the Cowboys. I covered the Eagles. That Giants team, bro, I mean, it's the worst run organization. I yearn for the days of Jerry Reese and Tom Coughlin.
They are a mess. They are really a mess. And, you know, it's funny. I haven't seen a Giant fan in quite a while. You know, I'm beginning to see some Commander fans that are coming out the woodwork. They feel like they've got some hope with Dan Quinn and everything else. I have not seen, other than Cop Pizzle, you know, sending me a picture of Daniel Jones saying he's the man. Other than that, I can't find Giant fans.
I mean, they have run that organization. They have buyer's remorse, and now they're trying to make excuses on why they didn't sign Barkley back. We don't want to pay a guy $40 million to hand a ball off to a guy at $12 million. Zeke was the highest paid running back at one time, and they were still paying Dak Prescott big money at the time too. I think you have to have if you want play action pass, Mark, you have to have a formidable running back for them to be able to bite on it on the other side. Because if you've got Rico Doodley or whoever that guy's name is, that ain't frightening me if I'm a linebacker on the other side of the football.
No, it's not. And that's where play action really comes in because, you know, for me, I'm a big 12 personnel type guy, okay? I like it that the thing with people back in the 90s, the Cowboys literally just had better personnel more than anybody else, and they were deep. They could literally just line up and just say, we're going to run right here and beat you. Now with free agency, everything is so watered down. There's really not that much difference between, you know, the bad teams and the really good teams. And this is where you got to be where they're not. You got to be able to disguise things. And you have to make them think that you have, you know, the semblance of a running game. You know, force a team to put 8 men in the box and then boom, do some play action and be able to get easy pick-ins. You know, that's been kind of the problem with the Cowboys is, you know, the last couple of years, you don't have that running ability like we've had in the past, especially in the playoffs, and that hurts you. And the Giants, I don't know what they're thinking because, you know, you could use the Giants because everybody automatically thinks that because their team was a playoff team the last year that they're automatically going to be good the following year.
I think that's a fluke. That 22 team was a fluke.
And exactly, because look at how they came out. They were just ass. And everybody thought Daniel Jones, he's finally arrived. Not really. He's sorry.
All right, Mark, let me do this here with you on your so it looks like CeeDee Lamb's going to hold out.
Yeah.
Going into training camp here. Are you really going to pay that guy more than you think that guy's Justin Jefferson?
Well, here's the thing. Well, it doesn't matter what you think or I think about it. The reality is it's the going rate. And the thing is, everybody has made a big stink and said you can't pay these guys, that guys. I mean, honestly, though, have you actually
trading him?
Well, maybe. Well, if you do that, then you definitely are saying we're rebuilding. So the question is, are the Cowboys rebuilding, or are they just crazy town and think that, you know, because we're them boys, everybody's eventually going to bow down? But what we see with Cowboys is they always act like they're tough with contracts and we're not going to pay anybody. People hold out and then they get scared and then they make crazy contracts. Happened with Dak, happened with CD, or will happen with CD. It happened with Zeke, happened with D-Law, it happened with Zach Martin. They always get the best of the Cowboys organization. It's just a matter of waiting game.
I think you trade him, and here's why. Because if you're not sold on what you're going to do at the quarterback position, if I'm CeeDee Lamb and that thing is so unstable on what you're going to do at that position, why in the world would I want to be stuck in a position like I am with Justin Jefferson? Now, unless you're chasing the bag of money and winning is not important to you, you stay in Dallas and you wait for the money to come to you. But if you're looking to really, and I made this point too, Mark, all these big-time wide receivers that are in the NFL, not one of them really, outside of Tyreek Hill, has won a Super Bowl. Why in the world am I going to invest? And most of them have been traded 1 or 2 or 3 times. Why in the world am I going to spend that kind of equity when I could build in my trenches, spend money on Micah if I want to? I'd rather keep the money on Micah. And dude, I know this is going to sound shitty, but
You're in
hey,
a shitty mood today, bro.
well, because because sometimes people look at certain things and they don't see the clarity in it. When you try to give them the truth, they
Mm-hmm.
have a problem with it. Look, here's Cat. Look, as much as I know who Dak Prescott is, okay, as
Yeah.
much as I know who he is, okay, well, I'm gonna pay that guy. I'm gonna pay him. I'm gonna pay him because what? Look, if I had a 70-year-old owner
Mm-hmm.
and I had an opportunity to do something like that, so what is he going to do? Rip the team down for Steven?
I listening to Clarence Hill. He was on with my man Law
By the
Nation.
way, he's a local sportscaster in
Yeah,
the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
he literally called him. Oh, not sorry, it wasn't Clarence Hill. It was actually Brian Brodus.
Okay.
Brian Brodus was actually calling them Crazy Town because the Cowboys, the things that they're doing, none of it makes any sense whatsoever. To your point, wide receiver, big name wide receivers aren't winning Super Bowls. You know who else aren't actually winning them too? Big name running backs.
And big name quarterbacks.
Well,
Here, get this.
Holmes
Look
is
at
okay.
the top paid quarterbacks. Do you know in the top 10, there's only one quarterback that has won a Super Bowl? You know who that is? It's Mahomes.
Yeah, true.
And
But a
there's
lot
only
of those
two
guys
that
don't
have been
know.
there.
Yes. Well, there's a whole idea that once you pay a quarterback, you can't win. If that's the case, then nobody's going to win because
But Mark,
everybody's
you want to hear another one?
Yeah.
Almost, okay, 8 of the 10 have losing records in the playoffs.
Well, maybe there is something to that one. I can't look at the Cowboys and say it's just Dak. I have to look at the totality of everything that's been done since free agency began. And here's the crazy thing about it: whether they pay CD or don't pay CD, whether they pay Dak or don't pay Dak, whether they pay Micah or don't pay Micah, do you think the Cowboys are all of a sudden going to now go out here and Stephen Jones is going to spend a whole bunch of money on free agents?
No,
That's in his DNA.
it's not what they do.
It's not. So everybody's saying, "Oh, it's preventing them from doing stuff." Okay, this is bullshit. If you look at Justin Jefferson's contract, he came out same year as CD. They were both on their 5th-year contracts, right? Options. His contract is an $8 million hit this year, $15 million the next year, and then it goes up to 38 the 3rd year. Okay, as opposed to CD sitting here right now at 17.9. The Cowboys would actually save money the next 2 years doing CD. Now, I'm not going to justify one way or the other because, CD does have some growing up to do where he even admitted it. He disappears. But then again, I have to say maybe that it's not just CD, Dak, and Micah, that it's something going on with the Cowboys.
See, I like that cap friendly stuff for the next 3 years. I like that, Mark. I'm a fan of it because that's kind of what they did with Devontae.
Yeah.
They get that latitude for the next 3 years, and then it escalates up to 38 million. But I'm going to agree here with J215 Hood. $35 million you're going to pay. This guy ain't a guy on the numbers. This is a slot receiver, dude.
You know
really?
what?
That's
Guess
a
what?
ton of cash for a guy in the slot.
Well, come next year, it's not. See, people keep thinking that this is a finite number. This is going to be the absolute ceiling. You know that these things change. When Dak got 40 million, you can't pay a quarterback 40 million. You wish you could pay a quarterback 40 million. And for everybody that's saying, "Oh, well, the Cowboys screwed up because they didn't get Dak and stuff done," actually, they could go through and if they did a deal like Trevor Lawrence, although he's had the 5th-year option, his 2nd year is 15. The next year is 24, and then it's 38. The Cowboys could eat the 55 this year and basically take the 40, spread it out over those void years, and have a 25 million next year, a 35 the following if they want to do it. But I think it's just like Brian Broda said, it's crazy town. The Cowboys love all the drama. There is no reason whatsoever. You've seen enough leaves fall with CD Lamb to know what the contract's going to cost. And if you're not going to sign him, then go ahead and just trade him and get this thing over with. If you're going to blow up the whole team, don't wait. Start Trey Lance now and find out, can he play?
How many first rounders do you think you can get for CD?
The way the Cowboys trade.
Well,
Remember,
I
we
mean,
only got a
well,
fifth.
let's just take a look at Devontae Adams. Take a look at some of the big guys that have been dealt in the past. Tyreek Hill and them guys. Dude, I mean, a lot of return. I only see
Yeah,
one.
but we're talking about the
I
Cowboys.
don't see a ton of guys throwing 2, 3 first rounders. I'm
No,
not putting up 2 first rounders for Lamb.
Here's the thing that happens with the Cowboys. They never get value when they trade a guy like Amari Cooper. That was tragic for a 5th round pick.
Was it fourth round of
Oh,
Cleveland?
it was a 5th. It was a 5th rounder.
And they gave up a 1 to the Raiders
to get him. Okay. Now, on the flip side, the 49ers don't want to do us any favors. They didn't. You think the 49ers really wanted to trade Trey Lance to us?
No
But
way.
the Cowboys blew all everybody. Nobody else is offering more than a 6th. Cowboys offer a 4th. We always pay too much, and we never get anything back in return. So if you're saying, let's trade CD, I would hope that they would get at least to 1, but I wouldn't guarantee that the Cowboys would with the way they trade. I love my Cowboys. I am a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, but sometimes I have to look and say, Stephen Jones, you guys are telling me you can't hire an expert that understands contracts better than the shit that you guys do?
This is where Howie and the Eagles have the advantage over you.
You are the ones. Don't get mad at the player, Dak Prescott, because they fleeced you on the contract.
Get mad at the game.
Be mad at the guy who sit here and did these contracts. You literally sat there and said, we're not going to reset the market with Zeke Elliott. And he stood there in Cabo, stood you down, and then you screwed the pooch on it. And then everybody wants to be mad at Zeke Elliott. They're the ones that
it just reminds me of Emmett. Emmett held those 2 games out and went like this.
And showed
see how you are. And they were 0-2. And they came running back to him. Hey, Mark, listen, I want to get to this. You want to play a game here?
Yes, I do, because I
did this with Xander yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He is a diehard Eagle fan, and I want to get a Cowboy perspective. And what I'm going to do here, I'm not asking you how many wins the Cowboys have this year. I'm not asking you
11.
Head-to-head anything. What I'm asking you, I am head-to-head. I'm asking you player for player at every position, who has the advantage at this respected position? Do you want to do offense or defense first?
Let's go defense.
Okay, let's go defense. DeMarcus Lawrence or Milton Williams?
I'm going to take D-Law.
Okay, hold on here now. Okay, Dallas.
Great run
Philly.
stop.
And we're going to go advantage. We're going to add them up at the end.
Okay.
You think DeMarcus Lawrence over Milton Williams? I happen to agree with that one too. I think DeMarcus Lawrence is a better football player. I think he's shown it, and he's been a more consistent player over that time frame as well.
The only thing you have to worry about on that is he going to hit the wall, because he is getting up there in age.
I think he's 32, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is. But still has been, he gets a big knock because he doesn't have a lot of the sacks, but he's one of your better run-stopping defensive ends.
Jordan Davis or Chauncey Golston?
Okay. I'm not going to say that Jordan Davis is, great, but right now I have to take Jordan Davis. Thing with Jordan Davis, though, is you still have to worry about his stamina, Golston has played a bit. He doesn't have quite the size that Jordan Davis does, but he'll get more of an opportunity. I still think he's going to be a good player.
Folks, that was kind of a trick in a way. Mark is going to be objective here. I'm liking this out of the gate here. Okay. Jalen Carter. How do you say that kid's name? Ozzy what?
Indigazua.
Who do you got there?
I'm going to take Osa Indigazua. He's a little bit undersized, but he was a wrestler in college. Incredible wrestler. Has great hands and good speed. Jalen Carter.
I think that guy's going to be an all-pro this year.
What, Osa?
No.
Or Jalen Carter?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jalen Carter is going to be the next Jerome Brown.
Okay.
Let me tell you this. If Zazie, what's his name? Zazie Smith. What's his name? What's the guy with the 2 bricks?
Come on, man.
The 2 bricks.
Leave Mozzie alone. Leave him alone.
So wait a minute here. Okay, so you have Ozzy over Jalen Carter. Guys, hold on here. I'm not gonna dispute it. This is his call. Okay. Micah Parsons versus Bryce Huff.
Micah. Come on,
Okay.
man.
I'm not. We're going here with you.
Now, you know, if this is Philly.500 on here right now, everybody would have been Eagles.
Hey,
Go ahead.
That's why we're getting a different perspective here. Okay. Inside linebacker, Nakobe Dean versus Damon Clark.
Damone Clark. Damone Clark had about 103 tackles last year, but but you know, the problem with us was we were literally going downhill. A lot of that was in chasing. He's a little bit on the undersize, but
straw is better than Nakobe Dean.
I was going to say Nakobe, you know, he's had a lot of potential and a lot of, you know, Philly.500 said he's going to be all pro and lead the team in tackles last year. Just saying.
Devin White or Eric Kendricks?
That's going to be an interesting one. The question will be is how much has Eric Kendricks lost with his age? Potentially, I think you got that one. But in a whole, we will be a lot better at linebacker than we were last year than having a safety.
Now, again, I get we're not doing group settings. We're going position. Yeah. Okay, so you got Philly with that position there with Devin White. But
it's not night and day. I got to give you something. I got to toss you a bone.
Okay. Maris Laflua?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Now we got to start this bad dog over now.
But it's probably going to be Overshown will probably be the starter instead of
we got to start this over because
why?
Parachuting in to fight for his Eagles.
Who is? Oh, Philly.500.
The legendary Philly.500.
Oh Lordy!
I had to come on. This guy's a liar. This guy's a liar. I never, ever said Nakobe Dean would lead the team in tackles.
Oh
you need to show the timestamp because once again you are making things up. This is what this guy does. He makes shit up. I never said that. Ever said that.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
Wait. Let's start this exercise over. And I think now this is going to be one of the greatest debates. And it will be far better than that shit thing we saw last Thursday. I know the side of the aisle you're on, Mark. Hey, you know what? Hey, just remember, end of quote. That's all I'll say. So we will sit here and let's go. Let's start this bad puppy over. He wants to start on defense, and we're going to go Philly.500, position for position, not groupings, not how many wins. We're going to go with this. Who has the advantage? We're going to start with defense. Okay. He's Marcus Lawrence over Milton Williams. Would you take
Milton Williams? Why Milton Williams?
Or Marcus Lawrence?
Milton Williams isn't starter.
No. Who would you take? Who has the advantage here?
Oh, you're comparing DeMarcus Lawrence, a starter versus a backup rotational defensive.
We're going through the potential.
You have to go DeMarcus Lawrence over the backup defensive lineman.
I still think he's going to have a great year this year.
He is. I like him too, but he's not.
I agree.
Start.
Okay. I agree. Mm-hmm. Next one.
Okay.
He took Chauncey Golston over Jordan Davis.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I did not.
Okay. All right. So you took Jordan Davis.
I told you Jordan Davis. I said Jordan Davis has to still work on his stamina. And that Golston actually hasn't had that much time out there on the field.
Oh, that's right. Wait a minute, Philly.
Look at that. Wait a minute.
He took OC. What's the kid's name?
Indigazua.
Over Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Mark just said, I'd rather have a McDonald's cheeseburger over a filet mignon. That's what he just said. Jalen Carter. It's not even close.
I pulled a Philly.500 on that one there.
Not even close. Not even close.
Go on.
Micah Parsons versus Bryce Huff.
Micah.
Parsons.
The future
I agree.
Eagle. Go ahead and say it, Philly. You know you want to.
Oh yeah, future Eagle Micah Parsons. I'll take him.
Damon Clark versus N'Kobe Dean.
Damone
Clark. I'll give Clark.
Devin White versus Eric Kendricks.
You better give Kendricks 2-3 canes, a wheelchair. He's old. Devin White will rebound. Devin White will be an all-pro. Devin White's going to show it up this year. Devin White.
I believe that's what I gave you too, didn't I? I said Devin White.
He did. Thank God Philly.500 came in here to save
Oh,
this.
wait a minute.
To save this shitty show.
Oh man. You know, you ain't got to have me on here, bro.
And what day? What? Don't get all butthurt here, kid. I'm not saying Philly.500. Wait a minute. You're starting to really start to look at here a little bit where you get a little butthurt, man.
I didn't say anything rude. I haven't been rude yet.
No, he hasn't actually. It's been me more so.
So people won't enjoy this. But go ahead.
Nolan Smith versus what's the kid's name? Mariza Lafufa? But you say there'll be someone else in there.
He probably, he's a rookie. So, I mean, you've got more experience, of course, on your side. But, you know, I'd take a ham sandwich over him.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't. I don't know much about who they have there. So I can only go on what I know about Nolan Smith. And if it's a rookie versus a guy who's at least got a sack in the league, I'll go Nolan Smith right here.
Mm-hmm.
But I could say push. I'd be okay with a push.
I'd be okay.
I think Nolan Smith has to prove himself, right? I mean, he does. Yeah. And I think he's got a lot of talent, but we got to see it on the field.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, you're on the side of the ball here, dude, that has your advantage. We haven't even got to the offense yet here, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Left cornerback, Quinyon Mitchell versus Deron Bland.
I'll take Bland. Bland, although here's the thing about Bland. I mean, I'm going to be real with you. Is a guy who is a pick magnet. He still has a lot of work to do in his coverage skills. He does get beat quite a bit.
Let me ask you something here. It's a great take. Let me ask you this, though. If you took those 6 picks away, those picks that he took back to the house for 6, what kind of corner is he?
Average.
Okay. Now, this kid, the only reason you get the advantage, in my opinion, Philly, is because the kid hasn't played an NFL down in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I don't even know if once again, I don't even know if he's starting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more Isaiah Rodgers out there.
And I would go Isaiah Rodgers over him. But, you know, when you want to say rookie, it's hard for me to judge a rookie that hasn't played one snap, you know.
Oh, man. I've got people over here commenting that, Philly.500 is on here. I'm out.
Hey.
That's all right. They can't take the truth. Go run and hide. Go ahead. Because I'll be drinking Cowboys tears, you little snowflakes over there.
Strong safety, Gardner Johnson versus, what's his name? Damon Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
CJ Gardner Johnson. I'm taking CJ Gardner Johnson. I got Johnson. Why do you have
Wilson, Mark?
Because I just hate the Eagles.
Okay.
No. You've got CJ on that one. Donovan Wilson.
Okay. Free safety, Blankenship versus Malik Hooker.
I've got Malik Hooker on that one.
I do.
Yeah,
too.
Hooker. Hooker's fair. It's fair.
Hey, so what's up with the bitching between him and Micah, man? Are these two girls going to be okay?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that, you know, the way you ask a question, you kind of get set up. But it's not something that a lot of people haven't thought and said, including myself, that, you know, are you a YouTuber? Are you a blogger? Are you a linebacker?
No, he's a Dallas Cowboy. He's a TV star.
Well,
that's what he is.
All
right. Darius Slay, Tyron Diggs.
Diggs, I will take. Now, the question on Diggs will be is, A, will he be ready to start the season? And what kind of shape will he be in?
I'm going Darius Slay. I'm going Slay. For this 1 year, I'm going Darius Slay. Coming back from a torn ACL, we know guys are never quite right that first year back. So I'm going to go Darius Slay, and I'm going to base it upon the injury. If Diggs wasn't injured, I would go Diggs, to be honest. But Slay is healthy. Diggs is coming back from an injury.
This is going to be probably one of the better segments here that we've done so far because now we're going offense. We're going to start with the quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott. Who has the advantage?
Dak.
Jalen Hurts.
Mark, why do the Cowboys have the advantage here?
I'm going to say because you have stability as far as the offensive play calling. You're going into the same system the second year in a row. You have the unknowns of now a new play caller, and you're going to have that starting of the season. That's not to say your offense won't be really, really good by the time the season ends after you've played in it. But we all know the way football is now, you're not really full speed till really week 1 or a preseason game. And you know Hurts is not going to play any preseason games. So those first 3 or 4 games are going to be really working on timing and getting this offense down. And you can see how the Cowboys offense, until the bye week, we really didn't get in gear. In fact, we were saying, damn, maybe we should have kept Kellen Moore.
Billy, why is Jalen the advantage with the Eagles?
I have it for several reasons. First off, the Eagles have a better all-around offense, I believe. So he has way more pieces around him. One of the pieces he has that I don't think Dak Prescott does have is the running game. And I think defenses are not going to respect the running game of the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to pin their ears and they're going to go after Dak. So I think even though they didn't have a great running game last year, Pollard still was some sort of threat. So for those reasons, I like Jalen Hurts. Plus, the biggest thing of them all is if it's the fourth quarter of a game in the playoffs, 2 minutes, Eagles down by 4, I trust Jalen Hurts to go win the game much more than I would Dak Prescott in a big moment. He can talk about the first 3 weeks of the season, but it's the end of the season that I care about. And Dak has never shown up when it matters
Philly,
most.
I do give a little bit of this, though. Dak's coming back in the same system where he led the NFL in TD pass. That's gotta matter something a little bit.
I think it does. And I think it matters early in the year, like Mark said. I think by end of the year, it's a different story. And if the Eagles are smart and they use Saquon Barkley while they're trying to get adjusted to the offense, they'll be fine. But Dak Prescott in the big game, in the big moment, I have no faith in as much as I have in Kirk Cousins.
Ooh.
What? That's not a shot. I'm not making a shot.
I hear you talking. Okay.
You Dak are kind of the same guy.
They're the same thing. They're the same guy.
Okay. Well, we'll see what your guy is this year, bro.
Wait.
He left you one.
Look how defensive he's getting. Look, all I said was the truth. The truth.
I got to admit, man, you do get a little bit like angst over anybody that barks about your boy, man. You know what I mean? It's true. That's your boy.
Let me give you the real deal, man. Coming on this show, I get flack and hate from my own people. How dare you cozying up with them mother humpers and everything else? You're not. Really
I don't think you're cozying up.
You are an Eagle man. It's like, dudes. The best thing you can do is know your enemy.
Yeah. All right. Barkley or that relic Zeke?
Barkley. It's not even
I
close.
have to give you Barkley, but Barkley has a propensity of starting out the season really good and tailing off as the season goes on.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah, when you play for the New York Giants and you have nothing around you, that tends to happen.
We'll see.
Okay. I mean, just think, a team that stinks with the starters already has any injuries is going to be really, really bad by the end of the year.
Okay, we'll give you that one. This is true. We can actually agree on something. The Giants suck ass.
They do.
Oh, boy. Giants! What a bunch of morons!
Hey, that thing on Hard Knocks, man. It just exposed that Joe Schoenen, man. He's terrible. What a terrible general manager. Now, this one's going to be interesting. Now, look, I know AJ's on the numbers, and I know CeeDee's in the slot, but these are the playmakers. AJ Brown or CeeDee Lamb? Who has the advantage here between these two players?
CeeDee.
Philly?
AJ Brown. AJ Brown. It's not even close.
Mark, why does CeeDee have the advantage?
come on, CD. Again, we started out that season. The first 5 games, we were ass on offense. It was literally the defense was scoring points left and right. Once they got into gear, and because you'll remember, I believe it was A.J. Brown had like 3 games of 125 yards a game, and they were talking about, oh my God, how incredible it was. And then CD had 4 games of like 150 in a row. I just look at that and say that he is, because here's the thing. When I look at the Cowboys offense, it was basically CeeDee Lamb. It wasn't a good running game. Tony Pollard barely got 1,000 yards, and I don't know how he actually got those because it sucked. And Brandon Cooks was like 1,000 yards behind him, and you had Jake Ferguson. So for him to be able to be the guy that you had to stop and still made those plays, when I look at the Eagles, I have to give you credit because you got Devontae Smith, you've got Dallas Goedert, you've got a decent running game, you've got a quarterback who can run, you've got all these other things. You're not getting all the double teams and all the attentions constantly that CeeDee Lamb was.
That's quite a diatribe to tell me why you think CD's more of an advantage than AJ. When I look at both guys and go, can you imagine AJ Brown in the slot? Your guy goes against guys who run 4.8s.
Whose fault? Okay, right. and whose fault is that? Then put your guy in the slot.
Okay, that is true. That's on the coordinator.
That's on the coordinator. If your coordinator says, "Oh well, I'm not going to put him in the slot because he's going to be a mismatch," well, then you're stupid. Then your coordinator's a freaking idiot. If I know I have an advantage that's going to cook the guys and make my guy good, then I'll do that. Come on.
Who is
AJ Brown? AJ Brown, and he just answered the own question. Oh, you don't have a coordinator. If a coordinator's not putting him in the best position, that's on the coordinator. That's right. Despite not having a coordinator or anybody that knew how to put AJ Brown in places and move him around and put him in situations to get even more open, he goes out there and he produces anyways. Even though he has way less targets than CeeDee Lamb's going to get. He still gets his numbers. A.J. Brown after the catch, A.J. Brown on the outside, A.J. Brown in the slot. I don't care where you put him. To me, I don't know that CeeDee Lamb is the same player on the outside that he is in the slot. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but A.J. Brown, I'll take any day over.
Mark, I really don't see CD a lot in the numbers here. Learning a new offense. This is from Rob. Rob, thank you. Learning a new offense is nothing new for Jalen Hurts. Still been to the playoffs the last 3 seasons, a Super Bowl, and learning a new offense every season since he's been drafted. So, I mean,
Moore's.
Well, but it's still a new. It is still a new one. Loving the debates. You guys are killing it right here. All right, Devontae Smith versus Brandon Cooks. Come on, man. This is not a debate.
Not even close.
Yeah, go on. Next.
No, I'll put Devontae Smith up against CeeDee Lamb. Hell with it. You know what I mean? My man Devontae Smith.
Put down the crack pipe, man.
Yeah.
Put him out. Philly.500. You'll take Devontae.
I'll take Devontae Smith
over
right
CD.
Over Lamb. That's right. My man Devontae Smith's going to have a monster year this year. You watch.
Okay.
You all watch.
We'll watch. Just like
Harris Campbell in the 3-hole versus Jalen Tolbert, Cowboys.
I'll take Campbell. I'll take
Tolbert. I don't think there's much difference between the two.
I don't either. I think it's a push. Don't. This is going to be an interesting one because I actually like your guy, Mark. Jake Ferguson versus Dallas Goedert. Now, personally, but wait, now, Philly, before you get upset with me,
look,
listen, I think he's a better talent, but you've got to be reliable too.
Yeah.
You've got to be on the field. This kid Ferguson was a target last year, and he ended up having a better season than Dallas Goedert. Now, are you going to go with productivity or are you going to go with availability? You could tell me, in Philly, Goddard's better. I agree. But, dude, you got to play too, man. You got to be on the ball field for me to sit there and go, you're actually better than that guy.
Yeah, but going into the season, I can't factor in injuries that haven't occurred yet. So I agree with you that if Dallas Goedert isn't healthy, you have to go the other way. But I can't judge this thing assuming that Dallas Goedert's going to get hurt. I just have to judge it on talent alone. And that's why I have to go Dallas Goedert.
How about you, Mark?
I'm gonna actually take Jake Ferguson, because typically tight ends is a position that usually it takes a couple of years before you really hit your stride. Most of your really great ones really weren't that good to start out their career. And I feel like there's a whole lot more upside with Jake Ferguson, and he was becoming that security blanket for Dak Prescott going down the stretch. And again, I know you're now saying availability and stuff, but you actually have to look at Dallas Goedert and say he is getting older and he is beginning to get nicked up more. So I will take Jake Ferguson.
No, he's got to stay healthy. I agree with that.
And Philly's right. I mean, assuming injuries is something that you shouldn't do. The only problem is his trend has been the last 5 years he's missed ball games.
Yeah, I agree.
But I agree. You can't assume that he's not going to not play 17 ball games this year. All right. In the O-line, this is going to be a little bit interesting and more interesting than what I thought here. Disciple says this first. Mark, can Ferguson be better than Jason Witten?
I think he can, because I think Jason Witten was an incredible player. But Jason Witten,
he was a pass catcher, not a complete tight end.
He was a good blocker. He wasn't exceptional by any stretch of the imagination. And later in his career, when we started, the teams actually kind of let him be the guy to go against, as opposed to saying, if we have Amari Cooper, Amari Cooper can take it to the house. At some point, you had boy, I can't even think of his name right now. You looked at it and said, pick your poison. Jason Witten is not going to break any tackles. And so he had a lot more numbers than maybe should have been the last 3 or 4 years of his career. But I think
he's not Jay Novacek.
No. And I think potentially that Jake Ferguson could actually be a really, really good one.
Let's get in the O-lines here. Jordan Mailata, left tackle, versus Tyler Guyton. Who do you got, Mark?
We don't even know what Tyler Guyton's going to be. We don't. I mean, I can't. I got to give you Mailata on that.
I think Mailata's the best skilled. Get this, not skilled. I think Mailata's the best athlete on the team. 6'8", 380 pounds.
Yeah, I mean,
runs like 5 flat 40s.
I'm a homer, but I can't take that one right now.
He's 6'8".
Yeah.
I mean, have you been surprised, Philly.500, with how much that he's improved? Like, he's now the second highest paid left tackle in the league.
Yeah, I mean, what a gem he was. I really think
seventh rounder, Mark.
Seventh round, yeah. I think they could have gotten him on the field 2 years early if they really wanted to. But he keeps getting better and better. You got to love Jordan Mailata. I absolutely love him.
2024 Dak running for his life has no run game. Defense will pin back ears against those tackles. We'll make threat. 8 game before you decide to ride the pine.
I hate to tell you, we didn't have a running game last year, and
you had a threat of a run game, though. You had at least a threat of a run game.
No, we did not. No,
you did. People at least respected Pollard. People respected Pollard. They have no respect for
not between the tackles, bro.
Come on,
dude! Literally looked scared to go between the tackles. That was
Dallas is going to have some ugly fourth quarters. You're going to lose some games in that fourth quarter.
Pollard tried to
kick
the guy on the goal line and couldn't get in. Sorry, I'm not giving you that
one play. One play
game was ass.
You better not get behind in games this year, or you'll be blown out.
It's even worse, Mark. It's even worse this year. It's not better. It's
at
worse.
least he can hit. He can hit the hole at least for your short
yard.
Donut
hole. That's about it.
Oh, okay.
Left guard here. Landon Dickerson versus Tyler Smith.
Landon Dickerson.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Landon Dickerson's one of the most underrated players in the National Football League.
Lord.
Philly.500.
If Landon Dickerson
first team All-Pro.
You know what? Every Cowboy gets a 10% boost into All-Pro. I'm sorry. No. If Landon Dickerson was a Dallas Cowboy, he would be considered the greatest left guard to play in the last 30 years. I'll take Landon Dickerson.
Tyler Smith was first team.
Okay, is another job.
All-Pro's a popularity contest.
No, wait. Pro Bowl is. All-Pro's the best in the game.
Dallas always gets a 10% jump on any of those things.
Oh, my God.
I'll take Landon Dickerson right now.
Of course you
I
will.
stand by it.
Of
I
course you
stand
will.
by that. And you know what? If he was a Dallas Cowboy, he would be the greatest left guard to ever play right now. Let me tell you, I think Landon Dickerson's underrated. I think he's one of the big underrated, but he is. You can't even acknowge it.
You're full of shit, man. Come on.
You can't even acknowledge
man.
how
He's
good
a
he
good
is.
ball player.
You prove
He's
my
a good
point.
ball player.
You
How
prove
about
my
this,
point.
Mark? He's the highest paid guard in the league now.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's not for no
I've got
reason.
a young guy who's still on his rookie contract.
Yeah, he'll be holding out soon.
Cam Jurgens. I put Cooper Beebe in there because this other guy, I think Cooper Beebe's going to beat him out, and I like the kid, but I got to go with Jurgens here because I think Jurgens is the better ball player here, and I think Jurgens is going to make the Pro Bowl, actually.
Yeah, I'm with you on Jurgens.
I mean, I have to give you that one because how can I take a rookie, a guy who's yet to play a snap? But I see a hell of a lot of potential with Cooper Beebe. That guy, he started out as a defensive lineman and got moved into the offensive line.
He reminds me of Linderbaum.
Every spot on the offensive line.
Hey, he reminds me of Linderbaum.
Mm-hmm.
You know the guy in Baltimore? He reminds me of that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was Dallas's. He was their best pick. He was their best pick last year.
He was.
I like him.
We traded back and got that extra pick to get him. That's the thing. If it ends up working out that Tyler Guyton is another guy that's 6'8". We'll see what we have there. But starting out as a left tackle, that's you got a bad learning curve, of course, starting out.
Right guard Tyler Steen versus Zach Martin.
Zach Martin. But go ahead. Oh, really? You're gonna finally give me one? Okay.
Well, I'll give you one that you deserve. I'm not going to give you one that you don't deserve. I give you what you deserve. Zach Martin's fair.
Can I at least have the guards? I'm giving you the rest of the offensive line.
I can't give you. I'm telling you, Landon Dickerson to me is one of the most underrated players in the league. I can't do it.
Here you. Okay.
You do get Mark. I think you get the guards.
I get.
But get this.
Stills gives you them. I can't.
Wait a minute. To his point, though, the difference between Dickerson and Smith, dude, it's like this. It's razor thin. It's not. Okay. It's not the Grand Canyon or anything like that.
If you're a football team, you're happy with having either of them.
No, but wait a minute. Yeah. But get this. This is where they get you as a group to have the tackles. They get you in the because look, Lane Johnson or Terrence Steele. Come on, man.
Lane Johnson.
Is that really a question?
No. It's not actually.
You think Becton? Do you think Becton works into that right guard spot? Does he got a chance? Because this could turn that with Stoutland. If Stoutland could mold him and get him to play, this could turn into a complete steal for the Eagles.
How about? I think he's going to be the sign of the offseason even greater than what Saquon is, and I'll tell you why.
Wow.
He is. What I've heard from Boomer Esiason, what I heard from Phil Simms, who came on this program, and even what's his name, Baldinger, Brian Baldinger came on, and Brian Baldinger has the affordability of being a former Cowboy and Eagle, and he said this. He goes, "That kid is in shape right now, like I've never seen, and because of Jeff Stoutland, he feels comfortable." Philly over at the left side. Would they ever contemplate moving Landon over to the right side?
Wow.
Putting him. Now get this. Hey, Mark, you would have 6'8" at left tackle, 6'7" at left guard, 6'3" at center, 6'6" or 6'5" at right guard, and 6'7". I mean, Jalen Hurts would need a step stool to look over that thing. That would be the biggest offensive line in pro football.
Yeah, it would.
Oh, look at you, man. Hey, you know what? You have good guards, but don't go killing yourself over it because they got a great-looking group.
Okay. Yes, they do. I've always said you guys have had a great offensive line, which is one of the reasons why your quarterback has had such success with being such a great running back.
It's one of the reasons why my quarterback's in a better situation than your quarterback right now.
Oh, by far.
Somehow, with a bad offensive line and a lacking running game.
How could you have a bad offensive line when you got the guards advantage here?
We got too good, yeah. But now keep in mind that, Tyler, it was only his second year.
I think he's a really good ball player. I do.
Yeah. He is a good ball player. He's a good ball player. I don't think he's a bad ball player. I
Billy,
just
you
think
got,
Dixon's
you got
good.
a little bit of time here. I want to ask you a couple things here. I got a couple things from Atlantic City that came in
Okay.
here. Mark, I want you to comment on it too.
Okay.
So they came in on the Eagle guys over under. And Mark, I'm going to go to you first here on this. Jalen Hurts over under 22 touchdown passes. Now remember, he had 21 the year before, and he had 23 this
23
last
last
season.
year. With Kellen Moore, probably, well, that's a tough one because you got Barkley, who may end up being more of a red zone threat. But with Kellen Moore as the coordinator, I'll actually say more than the 22.
What about you, Philly?
Over. Easy over.
What number are you landing on when you say over?
28 to 30.
Wow.
28
I'm
to 30
thinking
touchdowns.
25. 25.
I think
around
between
there.
I think around 30. I think his rushing numbers come down some and his passing numbers go up. And I think some of that is going to be having Barkley, throw a nice little screen, going to Barkley out of backfield is going to help him. But I think he's going to have close to 30 touchdown passes.
Mark, what about this one from Atlantic City? Saquon Barkley rushes over under 1,265 yards.
Under. They're not. You guys aren't going to have him carry the load. If you have him running that much,
I think they've got to decide: do they want to be a run team or do they want to be a pass team? Philly, over under on that.
Over. I really think it. I think he's right around. I think he's right around 1,200 to 1,400, somewhere in that range is where I have him. So I'll go over.
If he does,
but
he's
that
not
means 275 carries. You're talking.
I think they're going to use him a lot more than people think they are. I don't think they're going to use him like Miles Sanders. I don't think they're going to use him like DeAndre Swift. I think they're going to use him like a 3-down back. I think he's going to be more active and more part of this offense than people realize.
Hey, Mark, over-under on Dak, 33 touchdown passes.
Over.
Under.
Had 36 last year, led the league.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think more with less around him?
Because, see, here's the thing. Everybody is making a lot about the Cowboys' running game and Zeke Elliott, but Mike McCarthy is not a big running coach. He likes to go ahead and hit.
Well, we could tell.
No, seriously. You can laugh all you want or anything, but this is the truth. He wants to have multiple targets out there to catch the football. Jake Ferguson is definitely becoming a red zone target and a guy that is becoming that best friend. Brandon Cooks will be better this year being in the same system and so forth. Also, with having CeeDee Lamb there in OTAs, has had more work with Dak Prescott. You're looking at the Cowboys being more of a passing team than the running team that you guys are.
Yeah, you have to. They don't have a running game. You can't even use your running back out of backfield. No, I think it's under 33. I think he goes down. He's got less talent. And here's the other thing you got to consider: if CeeDee Lamb's a holdout, and let's say he holds out all of preseason, and then he comes in, he's going to be on a limited snap count the first few weeks. It's going to take him a month to get his feet under him. So that's going to hurt your offense too. So I think Dak. I think he's under 33 touchdown passes. I think Dallas is coming to there. I think this is a reckoning year for the Dallas Cowboys.
I always hear that, but somehow the Cowboys are always somewhere near the top in scoring.
You act like they do something. You lose every year in the first round of the playoffs.
But we got rid of Amari Cooper. That everybody said that's a death knell for the offense. I'm sorry,
and it was.
At some point, you have to look and say, you know what, the Cowboys' offense actually isn't as bad as we think. I mean, how many?
Nobody's saying they're bad.
Yes, you are.
I'm just saying they're not as good as they were last year. That's all I'm saying. They're not as good. Do you really look at your offense and think
at least the personnel you got to agree with him on is not?
I don't see where you Dallas looks so one-dimensional to me.
No, let's look at it. Here's what we lost: Tony Pollard, who was not as effective because he is an outside runner. You tried to make.
I love how he tells you what they lost and then he explains why it's a benefit to you. Just tell us who you lost. Just say the name.
Pollard, and we exchanged him with Zeke. That's not a major letdown.
That's a major downgrade.
Tyron
See,
Smith
he needs a wheelchair.
Year after year after year. Last year was the first time he actually had more than 10 games since 2015. Excuse me, 2016, 17. Okay? So we've been used to having him not there. Biotis was never a great center.
Oh,
Who else did we lose? Who else did we lose?
Look at that.
What do you have?
Excuses here.
What do
Hang
you
on.
have to receive?
Okay. It's okay. So if you guys are correct, then I should be saying, well, my team, we lost so much. So, don't expect us to do anything. I'm here actually saying we didn't lose as much as you guys think. I think they're going to be better than what you guys think.
I know. And I'm saying you're not.
Here's the last
we'll
one.
Reevaluate at the end of the year then, bro.
Oh,
here's the last
right
one.
after that playoff loss, we will reevaluate.
Speaking of that, how many playoff wins first do the Eagles have over under 1 playoff wins? Mark?
Under. I got you
Philly.
guys 9 on the season.
Philly, how many playoff wins do they have over under 1?
Over.
How many?
I got him in the NFC champ. I got him in the NFC championship game. So I have at least 2 wins.
Homer.
I have at least. If I was a homer, I'd just say they're going to win the whole thing. I'm saying NFC championship game.
You mean
how many wins do the Cowboys have in the postseason? Over under 1.
Over.
That's the biggest joke in the history of jokes. Mark does, look, he's laughing. Mark, Sills, he even knows he's full of shit.
Mark,
look
what's
at
the
him.
last time you had
laughing.
a win in the postseason? How many years ago?
2 years ago, bro.
How many?
2
0.
years ago.
I could tell you if that's really the odds out there. If you want to be rich, go bet that. Go bet the under. That's about the surest bet that you'll ever make in the history of sports. Take the under because they won't win a game.
I hear you.
Hey, Mark, when do you guys report to training camp?
They report on the 23rd, official openings the 24th. I land in LA on the 4th, and I'll be there through the 12th. And I think Thursday the 8th is when they practice against the Rams. And I'm hoping that I am seeing you.
Yep.
We know you're not going to be there, Philly. And it's okay.
He'll be there. If he's not, he'll be there remote.
Yeah, we could.
I'll be there remote.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll do. We'll put a camera out there and we'll get a feed. But we may need some help from you on that one, Dan, because everywhere the Cowboys are, the internet is ass. So,
is it at the Rams complex or is it at the Cowboy complex? I thought it was at the Rams place.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think it's at the Rams place, and if it's at the Rams place, I'm hooked up big time over there. I know them folks.
You know what? I don't know, but you're probably right that it will be at the Rams facility.
I think it's at the Rams place over there. So that place is
too bad CD won't be there. Maybe he can call in remote too. Maybe CD can call in remote.
I'll tell you what, Dan, you work that one out and figure out if that is going to be in LA or not.
Can I ask one last question here on the way out the door? What separates your fans versus Philly.500's fans? Why are Cowboy fans, in your opinion, better than Eagle fans?
You know what? I'm not going to say that either of them are better than the other. We both die with our team.
Wow, do you sound like a Democrat?
I'm sorry. No, I know. Being a fan is short for being a fanatic. I am crazy about my team. I love my team. Now,
nobody in Philly would answer a question like this. Well, here's what we do. We like both sides of the aisle here, and I like pancakes and I like cheeseburgers. We're really great. Dude, I go like this. I fucking hate the Gators. I hope that place implodes. I hope that place never has any success. I hope that place dries up in running water.
Kiss my ass. And by the way, if you ever try it, do a pancake with a burger on it. Okay, I had that on a cruise. That shit is good.
The first time I went over to in downtown LA, man, I had the bagels and I had the waffles and chicken. It was absolutely sensational, man.
Oh yeah, in LA you got lots of
Philly. What separates Philly?
I
don't want to hear. For what happens? What separates Philly Eagle fans from Cowboy fans?
The big thing with the Eagle fans is that despite all the years of losing and the fog bowl and all the bad things that happen, we're there every day. We show up every day, no matter what. We support our team. It's in our DNA. It's a family heirloom. It's passed down from your family. You're an Eagle fan. You're born into it. And for Eagle fans, despite all the bad that's happened and only having one ring and having to wait 50-something years, we're there every day, win or lose. And you can't say that about Cowboy fans when most of their fan base isn't even from Dallas or has no connection to the city. They're only fans of the Cowboys because they've won 5 Super Bowls and they thought it would be cool to be with the winner. No. We're there despite everything bad that has happened. I've seen a lot of losing, Sills, growing up. I've seen a lot of torture, a lot of crazy things. And you know what? I stuck with this team no matter what. I bleed with them. I die with them. That's the difference.
Bro, kiss my high yellow hind parts. Okay?
How's it? How are you doing there? How are you doing it? How are you doing in Texas over there?
Believe me, bro.
Oh no, you're in Virginia. That's right.
Fall out of my chair, losing in the playoffs, and I'm here in a Philadelphia Eagles channel.
You became a fan when they won what? 3 Super Bowls in the 70s and then the 90s. It was easy for you. That was easy. Try the Fog Bowl. Try watching Cunningham go down week 1. You watch what happened to Jerome. Watch Reggie. Don't give me that shit.
That's Cowboys silver right there, okay? I was born in this shit as well. Back in the 60s,
a nice
when we were losing to the freaking Green Bay Packers in the goddamn Ice Bowl. I hate the damn Packers.
Half your fan base is only fans because they won, and they can say, "Oh, we have 5 rings." That's the truth.
It's a good thing you're not coming. That's right. Because I'd knock the shit out.
I don't care because I'm right. You can't catch me. You can't see me. You can't see me.
All right.
You can't. Hey, my dad say, "Hey, Mark, you're 6 months in the hospital or sure death. Which one you want?"
4th of July week. Okay,
we need football.
One of the better debates I've had here. It's been absolutely crazy great. By the way, the place I had the waffles and the chicken was Roscoe's.
Roscoe's
in
chicken
South
ball.
Central LA. I went down there and my boys took me down there. It was absolutely insane. Added to the dub list. Hey, bro, I got to tell you, Mark, I give you a lot of love here, man, rolling in here on us here. Because I got to tell you, Philly and you, man, are spectacular at what you do. And I got to give you guys a lot of kudos. By the way, you're not obligated, any one of you. And you guys just come here and do this out of the kindness of your heart. And especially with your channels and how well they are. And we appreciate that so much. If I don't tell you that, you're not going to get me to kiss your ass that many times. But I am going to tell you, you guys are killing it. And really, I can't tell you how I appreciate you coming in here. Especially you, Mark, getting your – because, again, just like a Mozzie Smith double team, you get knocked on your ass.
Why do I do this?
You gotta love Mark. He takes a great beating. You know,
happy holidays to you, Mark.
Mark takes a great beating.
Hey, Mark, happy 4th of July to you, brother.
Happy 4th, Mark. Happy 4th, Mark. Yeah, America's team, real America's team, right there, buddy. The real America's team. Where America was born? Where's freedom and liberty born? Right here. What happens in Dallas? Presidents go to die. That's the difference between the 2 places. Let's go. Let's be honest.
Oh, holy! Was that too soon? Holy
Way
God,
too soon.
Bringing up the bookstore.
All I got to say is you better not lose to the Cowboys. You better not have a bad season because
I get in a broom for that
will
game.
Be coming due.
I'm getting my broom. I'm getting a broom.
This guy brings up Elm Street. Holy shit. A JFK joke.
What else is Dallas known for?
Too soon? I don't know.
You know, we got Benjamin Franklin. You know, we got all that stuff. The Liberty Bell. They got Oswald.
Liberty Bell.
Okay. Please hit the like button. Happy holidays to you guys.
Same to you guys.
Both very much. Thank you again. We appreciate it.
Peace.
Peace out. All right, guys, hit the like button. Ow! Philly.500 with an Oswald joke and a Kennedy bang to the head. Pretty good. Guys, I appreciate it. Hit the like button. Keep it here, National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.